how do we correct this? Because it looks like the EC is not listening.
Yeah, Roland. Before I suggest alternatives, let me make a quick rebuttal to what Honorable Mutala said with regards to the NPP not being principled and unconscionable. The NPP is conscionable. The NPP is principled. In fact, as he rightly mentioned and stated clearly that it is the business of the Electoral Commission and there is no strong force behind the Electoral Commission conducting this business, stating that they are not at IPAC, but he can state emphatically clear that the New Patriotic Party objected to the Electoral Commission conducting the exercises in its offices. Again, he mentioned that the Deputy General Secretary also stated clearly our displeasure with regards to the conduct of the Electoral Commission with regards to that matter. But similarly to that, connecting the dots, the Electoral Commission has a constitutional mandate under Article 47 of our Constitution that grants the Electoral Commission the constitutional autonomy as far as the functions of the Electoral Commission are concerned. In terms of financial independence, they have not, because of checks and balances. Parliament must approve of their budget. I'm coming. No, let me finish. In terms of the functions, the Constitution under Article 46 states that, except as provided in this Constitution or in any other law, not inconsistent with this Constitution, in the performance of its functions, the Electoral Commission shall not be subject to the direction or control of any person or authority. Being that it may, under Article 51 of this same Constitution, the Electoral Commission must conduct its registration based on a constitutional instrument, a CI, passed. And the CI 91 was passed by Parliament, giving the Electoral Commission the power to allocate a registration center based on their own discretion, being it accessible and all those parameters or elements enshrined in that. In this state, we as a political party, in the conduct of our business as a political party in winning political power, we're obliged, having made our position, and the Electoral Commission stating it stands clear in its conduct of its business per Article 47, we're obliged to support the cause and do as they are doing. It doesn't make us unprincipled because the Electoral Commission were conducting their business based on the Constitution. Okay. In as much as we raised issues with that, doesn't make us unprincipled. We are principled as a party because we are focused and doing business as a political party, positioning ourselves to win political power.
This registration exercise, did you get well-meaning leaders within the space, whether they are MPs or party heads, etc., who, of course, were told by Osman Asari should support the system in terms of the registration process, complaining about the difficulties, and what were they?
The difficulties have been raised, even on your platform. You showed us excerpts of your videos and your interviews with even potential or prospective registrants, stating their cases as to the frustrations that they were going through with regards to getting themselves registered, staying in long queues and the likes. We are not saying it did not happen.
Okay, I know that.
It did happen.
So how can you say then that you just agree with the Electoral Commission because you read articles that, of course, grounds the independence of the Constitution.
Absolutely.
Well from
we have raised issues. Yeah. The constitutional body says that.
Cool.
No, the constitutional body says that. Can we stop the Electoral Commission from doing so? It is only the court that can stop the Electoral Commission.
You don't seem to be worried.
No, it is only the court, the Supreme Court, through its enforcement powers under Article 130.
You are playing ostrich.
No, it's not ostrich. It's only the Supreme Court that can direct per its enforcement jurisdiction the Electoral Commission to do otherwise, because the laws are in their favor. No, certainly we raised issues. That is why we are calling you back. That come back to IPAC so that we have a tensile strength as political parties
but here lies
to be able to advocate our cases.
The NDC was not at IPAC, but they are also raising the same issues, and they are saying because you are the ruling party. Apart from what they will say, everybody will say that is the opposition party, but your voice and your position vehemently, well-grounded, will hold sway.
It tells you that the Electoral Commission has really asserted their independence.
Which independence?
The ruling party made the ruling party made its case at IPAC. We've made our case public.
Okay.
By Electoral Commission, per its independence, run the affairs of the Electoral Commission as dictated to by their laws and their prescriptions.
Mr. Mutala, in the next 5 minutes.
So certainly, I was stating that Honorable
said,
Mutala's position that we are not principled and unconscionable.
You've debunked
it's not right and it's not true.
As a matter of fact,
respectfully.
as a matter of fact, you've even made your case worse.
Sampi Yale says the
comment.
EC does not respect anybody, including Parliament.
Yes.
Remember, in the heat of things, the EC set up an advisory committee of eminent persons, including Nana Nketia of Sekendi, and we know Atudati. That will be the last time around. And
Look,
it looks like
he has even made his case worse. Perhaps he wasn't listening to me. I can understand. The economic mess is not leaving even some of them.
What's that got to do with
The
this?
only people who work within the four walls of the Flagstaff House, they don't feel the brand of the mess that is created. So myself and my brother were in the same soup. Why? I said that the NPP kicked against the proposal
At IPAC.
at IPAC, only for them, within 48 hours, defending the decision of the EC, leading members of your party, defended the decision of the EC. In fact, on this program,
official communication.
hold on, please. I'm saying that when you have,
it's not official.
oh, hold on.
Certainly.
Hold on. When you have a national executive officer saying that what the EC said, there is nothing wrong with that, isn't that enough an official communication? On this program, you have spokespersons. You are here speaking for NPP. I'm here speaking for NDC. If I make any statement that is not in line with the direction of the NDC as a responsible political party would either ask me to retract it or they would issue a statement. You have your communicators who have granted interviews, sat on talk show programs and defended the EC. That is the unprincipled nature I'm talking about. You see, what the Electoral Commission does is that they do what I describe as cartoon scenario reality.
What?
Cartoon scenario reality.
Being what?
They have IPAC, we invite you at IPAC, you come there, you speak big English. Fantastic ideas. But your ideas will not be taken anyway. So it doesn't even make sense participating in a meeting where you know, ab initio, that whatever suggestion you make wouldn't hold sway. Because the Electoral Commission has made up its mind. And in any case, the reason why we have the problems we have today is because the Electoral Commission is infiltrated by party activists. I have just told you, Jean Mensa was and is still an activist of the NPP. Dr. Bosman Asari, an activist of NPP. Sirubwa, who doesn't know, an activist of the NPP. To the extent that Dr. Bosman Asari himself was... Hold on. To the extent... Please. The gentleman... Peter Apiahene. The gentleman who was
I mean, that's
sorry.
very clear.
Yes, I'm saying that. Yes, an activist. So the reason why...
You see, this is a national platform. And saying the Electoral Commissioner, Madam Jane Mensah, is an activist of the Patriotic Party. Can Honorable Mutala prove with a membership ID card or any sort to say that she's an activist?
Can I answer your question?
Yeah, you can answer my question.
Roland, on this program,
have to go to Mr. Danko.
before the Supreme, before the...
certainly.
Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Can I answer your question? Before the Supreme Court sat on the petition, the election petitions, I sat on this program and I said that Jim Mensah was a family relation to the First Lady. Kweku Baku Jr.
But we are related.
Hold on.
We are Ghanaians.
Hold on,
first.
please. I'm driving at a point. Kweku Baku Jr., the person who is virtually a spokesperson to your party. Kweku Baku Jr. sat on Good Morning Ghana. He
has not spoken
for them any longer. Okay, I dare not. Say, what do they call it?
I don't know what you're intending.
It's smelling now. The new pump. A bon. Kweku Baku sat on Good Morning Ghana, and on this file and said that Mutala was lying. There's no any family connection between Jean Mensah and Rebecca Akufo-Addo, only for it to be proven in court. He has still not apologized to me. I am saying that the fact that you guys could defend and say that they had no family relations, if you knew there was nothing wrong with having a family person appointed as electoral commissioner, if you knew there was nothing wrong with that, why were you desperately lying and defending that, saying that it wasn't true, only for it to be proven in an open court that they had family ties, direct family relation? Jean Mensah, I have just told you, Dr. Bosman Asari was not only just a student and a senior of mine, an activist, and he didn't stop that. He became a TESCON patron as the head of the political science
department. Did you attend any of the meeting? Because is there something
every TESCON, I'm saying that TESCON on your TESCON patrons are known, 10 patrons on campus are known. They can't they can't appoint a Tescon patron who is an NDC person. You must be a standing member of the MPP, an activist of the party, believes in the ideologies of the party, even if those ideologies are sending it down the drain. So he has never denied that. So I'm saying that if you have party activists appointed and family members appointed to man the affairs of the Electoral Commission, naturally, they would only come to do
Mr.
what
Musa
you want
Dankwa.
them to do. And Jim Mensah has demonstrated that time and again.
Mr. Musa Dankwa.
The fact of the
When
matter is
President
that
Nana
you cannot
asked Jim
have
Mensah to
nothing
jump,
Oh, please, I'm
Nana,
asking
she
a
will
question.
ask Jim
No,
Mensah.
gentlemen,
Jim Mensah will
please,
ask, how high should I
please,
jump?
No,
please.
you have
Mr. Musa
nothing to show
Dankwa.
that he's an activist.
Oh, she is.
What do you foresee to be the huge backlog problems the EC could face, knowing that in 2020, and all of us can recall, because of COVID, so-called, the borders were closed across Ghana. People who were in the neighboring countries and were Ghanaians could not come in to vote. There were even restrictions within periods or register. And then we also have the Electoral Commission not having undertaken the registration, I think, for 2 years. This is the third year they are now doing it. So what do you foresee to be the pressure for next year, particularly when it is an election year and the Electoral Commission is taking these positions as far as the organization of the registration?
Right. I think we have a number of issues here. EC is still adamant that they will continue to register at certain locations and not making it widespread. So the issues that we've been complaining about this time around will never go away. Even if they do it as an ongoing registration, people have to still travel long distances to go and register. That costs money. For me, that is the biggest problem. Now, but it's also refreshing to hear that they will do it as an ongoing process, which if they had kind of a bit decentralized it much more, would have made it a lot easier for people to register and vote. But believe me, in 2020, there will be a lot more pressure because there will be kids that will be attaining the age of 18 years. I don't know when EC's last registration would be. Would it be July, August, September? At that time, young voters will still be able to register to vote. So if they open the process continuously, then we expect the young people to register and vote. But it will cost more money than if they had centralized it and done it twice also in a year.
For example, Chief Mante is saying, Roland, let's be frank, the NPP is seriously in bed with the Electoral Commission. Just look at the appointees by the president. And we've also had some of these expressions being made because, for example, Dr. Apiahini clearly, you look at his background, his communication publicly, is a known activist of the ruling party. Does he then, what do these tendencies breed? I mean, visibly.
Are you speaking to me, Roland?
Yes, you, as a pollster and researcher.
You see, I mean, if I was in the shoes of the president, I would avoid making such appointment, to be very honest with you. I'm somebody who believes in good governance from a corporate governance point of view, and any semblance of bias must be removed. I have on a number of occasions stepped down from certain position because I felt my position could be untenable. I stood down. And some of these people accepting this position must also ask themselves these questions. How would they be seen in the eyes of the general public? Because EC must be seen to be neutral. We're not saying that they should be, I mean, you are a person, you vote, you have a vote. But in exercising your role as an EC commissioner, me, if I was in that position, I wouldn't take those appointments. I would never take them because I know if I'm an NDC activist, why should I take position on the EC? I wouldn't do that.
Do you think the role played by Jim Mensah as executive director for the IEA, having been related to the founder, Dr. Charles Mensah, who, of course, I reported on many other projects in the Kufuor administration, very close to the former president, etc. You look at those linkages, she shouldn't have taken the appointment as well.
Let me put it this way. From accounting point, I think in the early part of 2020, there was FRS 5, which we call financial reporting standards, which talks about related party transactions. Once you are auditing and you find a transaction that has parties that are related, you have to be double checking and double crossing your facts. And this is the base on which I wouldn't have, accepted or allow somebody who is linked anyhow politically to be able to take up such positions. Really, I mean, those appointees should have done a much better job than they have done. You avoid such instances because it kind of crowds the independence of the body, which at this point you really need it.
Clearly, it has the opinion publicly is bad for the Electoral Commission in terms of trust from the stakeholders, the public, etc. Right? And it seems to be living that action as well.
In fact, luckily, we've done a poll that is coming out on Thursday. And the poll will tell us what confidence that the public have on the EC. Let's wait and see what the public says.
Okay. When I spoke to you last week, you did a poll. Thursday, Wednesday, this is your Wednesday and Thursday. All right. And thank you, Mr. Musa Dankwa, for your thoughts this morning. I've enjoyed it. No, it's not. No. Please conclude for me.
So evidently, if you look at the attitude of the Electoral Commission in all this, it will tell you clearly that the current composition of the EC is not in any way enthused about getting numbers onto the voters' roll, and that whatever they can do to limit participation of people into the voters' roll, that is what they are doing. The second important thing that I wanted to raise on this matter is something that I have said time without number.
Okay.
That when the Article 42 says that people must be of sound mind before they can register.
Let him finish.
Because they can register. And I think Article 40 is saying that if you have to be a member of the Electoral Commission, you must possess the qualification of an MP.
You should have sound mind.
You should have sound mind. I think that we should look at the soundness of mind of those who are managing the elections in this country. Because clearly, anybody with sound mind will listen to voices of dissent. That at the end of the day, you cannot be the repository of knowledge. Then I come to you, Enoch. What did Enoch say? That the EC is independent. And I keep asking, independent of what? President Akufo-Addo was elected by the people. Go and read Article 1 of the Constitution. You like referring to Constitution. Sovereignty resides in us, the people. And it is exercised in our name and for our welfare. It's in Article 1.
And so, go to 125.
Can I make my point? So when that sovereignty is exercised, and we elect our president, and that president uses our power to come and appoint you, and the president is not independent of us, and you come and tell us that you are independent of us, there is something fundamentally wrong with soundness of mind.
Well, Engineer Obing Sikapa Kumasi says, Roland, today read my message, else tell Bernard I love his regalia. He says, in fact, he is in his element. Bernard, you are my mentor. Okay, so...
What is
Allah is the only God. Oh, wait, is that not again? Yes.
No, there's none to be worshipped except us.
And so...
Okay, so we're waiting for the feed from... Please, you can also cash out. We have *439#. *439#. Take your phone and let's cash out. You are doing it for me.
Cash out.
You are doing it for me.
So, I'm not going to a demonstration.
Yeah, we'll do. We want some feed. Now, in a Syria...
see the way the police have...
This one is from
only one person driving to the...
No problem, we have the time.
The EC has taken IPAC as students and teachers
from
relationship.
We are here.
Madam Jimensa preaches virtue in opposition and practicing vice.
You thought we were
I'm not sure he
starting
was in opposition. She was
So from here,
Eric, and party politics is gradually knocking some brains in the country. We don't know what happens to Al Jazeera response to Gold Mafia documentary, and yet we want to occupy a private person's office for a dead and gone story. The mafia,
the Airbus.
The mafia story won't go away. As for the EC's behavior and disrespect towards Ghanaians,
Which
the
of the
judiciary
offices are you
should be
occupying?
blamed. Eric from Ashaliboche. I also have this one from Blueprint from Isikado Kitang. Says, good morning to Charles Bissiu, the incoming MP for Isikado Kitang. The losses reported by BOG are technical losses arising from the haircut and the application of accounting standards in particular to estimate expected credit losses over the period. Musa Abatwa Aswanse. I posted a video on Facebook of a long queue of registrants in Ketu South. Clearly, the EC has done something wrong. Alhaji Hamza, Pig Farm. Truth be told, I wonder why Madam Jim Mensah is getting her powers from the Constitution, Hamza. She should remember she has the responsibility to facilitate and also to frustrate many. All right. Demo, you're not going for the demo? No. Okay. But what do you make of the demo? We'll be crossing over to the demo shop.
Oh, start from the demonstrators so that
Okay,
we can have a say
demonstrators.
to say
Okay.
why they are going on demo.
You are going sooner. Let me give you 2 minutes on this.
Well, first and foremost, we demanded certain things to be done. The core mandate or responsibility
I'll
of
tell you why
the
you should
central
join.
bank. In fact, it is the last resort as far as
just put something
financing
across.
of a state is concerned. And if you look at Article 183,
The way they are eating without
one of the functions of the central bank was to promote our currency and maintain stability. The central bank governor is the one who is in charge of performing this responsibility. And there's no denying the fact that in terms of maintaining stability, our city is absolutely nothing now. Nothing in the extent that if you compare it with the other currencies. This year alone, the city lost value about 11.4% this year alone. Now you have a central bank governor, by their own management report and financial report, which was captured in the Auditor General's report, their own management statement, captured, they indicated that they made a loss of about 60.4 billion. 60.8 billion. That is monumental. And in fact, equity negative about 55, percent.
55.
And again, in the eyes of all these monumental losses they have made, they recklessly spent money because it simply doesn't make sense. Because of the economic circumstances that the people of this country have been subjected to by this reckless and corrupt government, people are now trying to readjust how they live their lives. Some people are now doing 2 meals a day. Others are doing 1 meal. Those of us who are already engaged in gobe, we have intensified our eating of gobe. Now, at a time when we are all being asked to sacrifice, and at a time when these losses are being reported by the governor, by the Central Bank of Ghana, they will go ahead to spend these outrageous monies. And these are not statements that were cooked by the NDC or anybody, captured in the Auditor General's report, and some of them in their management report. They spend 131 million on vehicle maintenance. Ghana cedis. What kind of vehicles? Were they using jumbo jets or Rolls Royce or Lamborghinis as vehicles? That you spend 131 million on vehicle maintenance. 97 million on foreign and domestic travels. And this is very important. At a time when the president himself said that nobody should travel, they spent that on traveling. They spent 357 million on banking supervision, as if they had the mandate of supervising all banks in Africa. Because if it has to do with supervising banks in Ghana, as a matter of fact, your regional offices have the responsibility, and those who do that are paid by the state in their salaries, that you spend about 357 million Ghana cedis banking supervision. 67 million on computer reload. What is shocking to me, 32 million Ghana cedis on communication. You are a communication expert. You have been in this industry for decades. 32 million Ghana cedis on communication. Is it that they hold press conferences and provide TNT? That's solely they even give to the media. How much is it? Is it that they provide monies, huge sums of money for people who attend Bank of Ghana's press conferences? How many press conferences did they hold for the entire year? One can say 1 or 2. And as a matter of fact, they do so when the need arises. And they have a communication department. They have a department that is tasked with the responsibility to perform public relation duty. And those who man that office are paid by the state, yet they spend 32 million Ghana cedis on communication. An undisclosed amount of 287 million and $2 million on gold watches. Now, what is shocking? That you spend about 287 million Ghana cedis and $2 million on gold watches.
Let me cross over to the venue where you'll be.
Shockingly, is the fact that they are spending $250 million to put up an office. If your children's school fees have not been paid, and you tell your children, don't go to school because I don't have money to pay your school fees. Your children are at home, and then you came home with some new car.
Well, the argument that is
more
countered
important.
is that, a counter-argument is that the Bank of Ghana is an independent institution. That's what I've heard.
Tomorrow, they will tell us that Rebecca Akufo-Addo's office is an independent office.
No, but the Bank of Ghana is an independent.
An independent institution. Mona had already indicated, as captured in Article 1 of the 1992
Nashako is
Constitution.
live at the
They hold that
demonstration
power
ground.
for and on behalf of the people of
it's
this
the
country.
Obra Sports. So we'll get the latest update. Enoch, just in case I don't come back to you. Bernard Mona as well. And then also...
That will be something.
That will be something.
There's nothing to say on it.
You see, Honorable Mutala mentioned that the Bank of Ghana is building an
What we
edifice,
have now... talk.
building an office for $250 million. Roland, you
Oh,
are a
you came
journalist.
with nose. Oh, that's
Roland.
Oh, you came with already knows. I
Oh,
understand.
no.
She has nose.
No,
Look
so-
at
No,
that.
no, no, no.
I
don't
didn't
come
see you
in.
writing.
No, don't come in. Don't come in. You
No,
see,
I've seen the nose. I
in
want you to
2014, during the term of office of Dr. Kisla Tufos and then Deputy Finance Minister,
Yeah,
the Bank of Ghana, in search of a land
yeah.
for the construction of this office complex, started as far back as 1990.
So you're saying the decision...
We didn't
that
commit
is
any money to it.
transitions.
That is, you committed money.
Were we
Nah,
making,
Nashako
were
is-
we
You
making
committed money into it.
60.8 billion losses?
You see,
Nashako.
Mr. Kingsley Ewuada.
Nashako, start.
We're making